Next lesson is covering triangles. You should know how to classify angles, find their missing measures, and now we're finally going to start with some polygons and constructing polygons. But triangles get their own lesson, okay? And we can classify triangles using some vocab. This is review, this part. You should know how to identify some of these triangles. You got to be able to classify triangles by their angles and by their sides. So we're going to classify them by their angles first. So there is something such as an acute triangle. So if you were to draw an acute angle and then just close the other side in, that's an acute triangle. It's acute. An acute triangle. You're going to start seeing Ms. Shiano write little triangles as symbols to identify that it's a triangle that you notice when you're constructing them. And that's also in the math world. They use little triangles next to them to show that that's the name of a triangle or the name of an angle inside of a triangle. You're going to start seeing more of this. That's an acute triangle. This is, you guessed it, a right triangle because it has a 90-degree angle. And you have an obtuse. Oops, I was starting to draw an angle. Don't want to do that. An obtuse. A triangle, all they need is one obtuse angle in order for it to indicate that it is a obtuse triangle. All it takes, in parentheses, is one angle needs to be obtuse. And it's an obtuse triangle then. Okay, so that's classifying triangles by angles. Next up, let's classify triangles by its sides. So again, this is nothing new to you. It's just good review before I get to that 7th grade skill. I'm going to draw something like this. This is called a scalene triangle. And a scalene triangle is where there are no sides that are congruent, which means they're all different. No sides are congruent. And remember what congruent means? The same, which means that they're all different. Scalene means all these sides are different side lengths. That one's shorter, this is long, this one's even longer. Okay? All three sides are different. They are not the same. You will see a triangle that, draw a little bit longer, that does have two sides that are congruent. And those slashes through those lines means congruent. And when there are two sides that are congruent, it's called an isosceles. Again, nothing new to you guys. You should know that this is an isosceles triangle, and it's where two sides are congruent. Again, that means that they are the same length. So if this side's 10 inches, this side's 10 inches. This one might be 6. Okay? And then there's one more that we classify by its sides, is where all three sides are congruent. That means it's equilateral, an equilateral triangle. All three sides are congruent. So, for example, if this side's 5 inches, this side's 5 inches, this side's 5 inches, those slashes through those sides means congruency. Now that you know how to classify triangles by angles and sides, okay, that's a previous skill. You need to be able to do the new 7th grade skill with that now. Star it, highlight it, underline it. All angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Star it, highlight it, underline it. All angles add up to 180, kind of like a straight angle. But when you close in that straight angle, if you can visualize that, it equals 180 degrees. So, for example, number 1, you're going to have to find some missing measurements on a triangle as well. I'm going to go ahead and draw a right triangle, and so are you. There's a square indicating that it's a right triangle. This angle right here is a right triangle. I'm going to go ahead and say that this arc right here, this guy's 32 degrees. And this one, you got to solve for x. Okay? So if we know that all angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, well, I know this side's 90, right? This side's 90 just by looking at the square, plus 32 plus what? That x equals 180. Well, let's combine like terms first. I'm going to combine these constants, and 90 plus 32 is 122. And now it looks like a two-step problem that we're used to seeing. I see a positive 122. I'm going to go ahead and subtract it from both sides of the sign. Bring down my x equals sign. 42 equals x. So x equals 42 degrees. 42 plus 32 plus 90 equals 180 degrees. So not only did you find the missing measure, I want to classify this triangle using its angles and sides. Using its angle, it's a given that it's a right triangle. I forgot to do this for you guys. These two side lengths are the same. This one is not, okay? But these two sides are the same with those hash marks. If there's at least two sides that are congruent, that means it's a isosceles triangle. So it's a right isosceles triangle. So you classified it by its angle, classify it by its sides, and found the missing measurement. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to go ahead. I'm running out of room. Number 2, I'm going to write on the other side here. Number 2, I'm going to go ahead and do an obtuse angle. And this obtuse angle is going to be 130 degrees. Close it in to make it a triangle. I'm going to say this angle here is 12 degrees. And this angle we got to solve for. It's x. Okay? Let's go ahead and understand again that the sum of all the angles in a triangle equal 180. So we got 2 of them. 130 plus 12 plus x is going to equal 180. Well, 130 plus 12 is 142 plus x equals 180. I'm going to subtract 142 from both sides. 180 minus 142 is 38. Bring down your equal sign, bring down your x. 38 degrees equals x. Now you can check your work if you want. 130 plus 38 plus 12 does all equal 180 degrees inside that triangle. Let's go ahead and classify it by its angles and by its sides. I don't see any hash marks, so that means that all side lengths are different. So this is a scalene by sides. And by angle, remember, all it takes is one obtuse angle in order for it to identify as a obtuse triangle. So it's scalene and obtuse. And there you found the missing measure. Let's do one more. Number 3. I'm going to go ahead and draw it kind of funky. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a right triangle. It's just upside down. And this guy is 10 degrees. And we got to solve for x. Well, I know 90. Right there. The box gives it away. Plus 10 plus x is going to equal 180 because remember, all angles in a triangle equal 180. This right here equals 100 plus x equals 180. I'm going to subtract 100 from both sides. X equals 80 degrees. That guy equals about 80 degrees. And you can classify it as a right. And all side lengths are different. So that is classifying triangles, okay, by its angles, its sides, and finding missing measurements. And remember the star highlighted note, all angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees.